should be recording. Now I'm recording. I'm sure you've all heard a million times that activism, social justice, anti-racism, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And we feel that our dollar should move in that same way. And Mykail will tell you all about why. So what you're going to be taking away from this Budgeting for Justice 101 workshop is one, why you should be donating long-term as opposed to just panicking and throwing money when the trend happens, when somebody's name is a hashtag. So why you should be bringing like smaller long-term donation into your budget, and then exactly how to do that. We've got the Bluetooth, we've got the blueprint for you today. So before we get started, let me get into some house rules, right? For those of you who maybe don't F with Zoom a lot, there is a Q&A at the bottom of the Zoom screen. There's a black bar. There's a little bubble, two little bubbles that says Q&A. If you have any questions, I would love for you to stick your questions in the Q&A. If you put them in the chat, as lots of folks in HellaHelpful know, and holler if you know what I'm talking about, HellaHelpful veterans, the chat gets crazy. The chat gets and things get very much lost because we get very excited about the very smart teachers. So Alex said, yeah, it gets crazy. There's emojis. And so if you have a question, you have to put in the Q&A. I'll keep reminding you about that. If you're wondering if the presentation, yes, and Alex, in the best way, exactly. If you're wondering if the slides, the presentation, and the recording will be available after this, the answer is yes, for at least on my side for a limited time. A couple places you could find the presentation is on Mykail's side. It'll be available on bougiebudgets.com/HellaHelpful, and I'm going to stick that in the chat right now. Y'all, I can't. Like, if you don't know about Mykail, and I will let her introduce herself in a sec, but like, she is one of the most like end-to-end, put a bow on every step of your financial journey, high quality content creators out there, like bar none. And so Mykail put together a part of her beautiful website, bougiebudgets.com/HellaHelpful, where the recordings will be, the presentation will be, extra resources, and all the things that she kind of talks about. She put together a little landing pad for us for the end of this presentation, and it's just it's so beautiful. Okay. And for my side, it will be this presentation for me. I'm going to give her the recording. She'll do what she wants with it. My end, it's going to be available for free on my YouTube for 1 week. So for free for 1 week, I'm gonna let the internet know, you know, whatever you end up doing with that 1 week, if you figure out how to pirate the video off of YouTube, I'm all about pirating, do it. And then after that, the video, the recording, and the slides will be accessible only through my HellaHelpful monthly membership. It's a brand new thing. We are beta testing it with a small group of folks who I know are here. Holler if any members are here. We're testing an all access membership. And so we've got a few slots left for the beta test. I'll talk about it at the end, but my members will get forever 24/7 unlimited access to all presentations, recordings, and slides. So I got some members. Hey. Gosh, let me keep it going. Giveaways will happen 4 times. I will explain how they happen when they come. There'll be moments to stretch, drink water, use the bathroom, digest what was just said, but let me stop talking. I am now going to pass the mic to the amazing Mykail James, also known as the Bougie Budgeter on Instagram. I want to remind you all that while she is an incredible financial educator, she also has a whole ass full-time job. And so she's coming off fresh from work right now. So we're all going to be very nice. We're going to be dope. And Mykail, take it away. Make it the host. I'm going to go
Thank you so much, Berna. And hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. I'm super excited because budgeting is my favorite thing to do. Obviously, I'm the Bougie Budgeter. So if you don't know, now you know. On Instagram, I am the Bougie Budgeter, the only one. If you see anybody else has calling themselves the Bougie Budgeter, let me know, because that is trademark infringement. But I am super excited to be talking about budgeting for justice. Berna kind of threw out this topic and said, like, this is something that she wanted to talk about. And I'm like, I'm your girl, because this is something that I've been talking about, not just since June, when the tragic death of George Floyd came or was seen across the world, it has been something that I've been passionate about before. If you're on the First and 15th newsletter, if you know me, if you're on the newsletter, then I sent a newsletter about donations and being a long-term donor in like May or April. So I have literally been talking about this. This is something that is super passionate for me. It's a passionate topic because I am a fan of philanthropy. I'm not a person that is out on the front lines marching because that's just not me and my personality, but I am a person that will donate the dollars and the time. So I want to stop chit-chatting and get straight to it. So we're going to share this. Give me like 2 seconds. We're going to see how this is popping. And share screen. Share screen, and we are going to go for this one. Okay. And again, like Berna said, if there is anything that you want to, the entire workshop, PowerPoint slides, they are all available at bougiebudgets.com/HellaHelpful. So if you have any questions, or if you want to actually follow along, you're welcome to do that as well. But I'm going to make sure I can speak clearly so you can understand, and we're going to get this thing popping. So first, before I start, can you see it? Is this like, can everyone see it? Can I just drop a 1 for me in the chat if you can see it, and then we can keep it pushing. All right, perfect. I have 1s, so that means I'm going to keep the chat like on the side. So that means we're going to keep it popping. So donating to grassroots organizations, nonprofit organizations, is an investment in the world that you want to see. And this is something that I want you to really take note of, because we talk about investing in the stock market, we talk about investing in real estate, but an investment in the world that we want to see is donating to organizations that are supporting the types of programs, supporting the types of change that we are trying to see in the world. So think of it not as you're just giving your money for free to this organization. Think of it as a investment into the world that you want to see. So for me, I believe in the rights of against voter suppression. Voter suppression is something that is running rampant. If you have been watching the elections in Georgia, crazy, in Kentucky, voter suppression has been something that's been around for years. And there's an organization called Black Girls Vote. They're based out of Baltimore, Maryland, and I donate to them because that is a cause. I want to see voter suppression ending. I don't want it to be hard to vote, and I want every person in America, no matter what, to have the right to vote. So let's keep it pushing. Again, if you want to follow along, I want to make sure if you are following along, if you want any of the extra resources, anything that I'm talking about here, www.bougiebudgets.com, bougiebudgets with an S/HellaHelpful. Okay, so really quick about me, who I am. I am a 24-year-old financial literacy educator. I'm a first-gen college graduate. I got my MBA in 2018. I am a accountant. So yes, I'm an accountant. I am an empowered monetary donor, the youngest of 6, and I am the queen of all things bougie. What I am not is an old white man, number 1. I don't know if you could see or not, but I am not an old white man. I also am not someone that comes from a low income background. I actually come from a middle-class family. That is important, and don't let anyone tell you that it's not, because we think differently based on where we come from in the background. I'm also coming from a giving family. We donate our time and our money to, since I was a little girl, right? I'm not oblivious to my privilege. That is why I bring these things up. I'm not a real estate or a stock investor. I want to let that know. And I'm not an all-knowing money wizard, okay? I'm here to learn and grow. And even in this presentation, I had to call into my friend. So shout out to Marissa. And she works at the Casey Foundation, which is a nonprofit foundation. And she actually helped me put together some of these things. And she also provided a free resource that is on the HellaHelpful landing page that you can look at, but it's all about philanthropy 101. She even like got me hip to all the things about grassroots organizations and things like that. And that's because we're always learning, we're always growing. And just because you didn't know now, that's why you're here. And let's keep it moving. So what happens when you donate? And this was in, like I said, in my newsletter back in May. You are investing in the future you want to see, right? You're creating good energy for your money and empowering your dollars because you spend your money where it matters. And then also your donation to a 501c3 is tax deductible. So it helps all around. Like, it does not matter what way you flip this pancake, it is still going to be great. Donating empowers your money, empowers you, and helps the community that you want to see. So in 2020, where have I donated? I am a Hampton University graduate, so I have donated to my Hampton University, my alum, so that is tax deductible as well. Most colleges that are not for profit, so if you, like most state colleges, private colleges, they're all non-refundable. And then if you, not for profit. Now, if you also see, I've donated to some organizations that dealt with the Minnesota backlash, so definitely did that. And as well as things like you see Black Girls Vote, Empower DC, Stop Police Terror in DC. I did a lot of things that dealt with the gentrification within DC. If you don't know, Washington DC is the most gentrified city in the US. The most rapidly gentrified city in the US. And that is something that holds near and dear to me. If you were here in the beginning, me and Berna were talking about how rare it is to find someone who actually is from DC. And that's why, because gentrification has really pushed out some of the natives. So these are some of the organizations. And overall, within 2020, I've donated over $700 to different organizations. To all these organizations combined, over $700, which is about 10% of my annual income. So my money supports organizations that support me, okay? Period. End of story. So, as in the spirit, what organizations have you donated to in 2020 and why? Like, just drop it in the chat and I can see. And can we get DC statehood? Ooh, DC statehood. That one, Teresa, that is a whole nother conversation. East Oakland Collective, yes, Berna. Black Visions Collective, YSP Philly. Ooh, so many people have been donating grassroots fund, bailout funds, defense funds. Oh my gosh. This makes me feel so great because that means that we're all kind of on the same page, that donating is something that is really a part of where we want to see, right? And in the spirit of that, I want to give away. So I'm going to bring Berna back over so we can get this first giveaway popping.
Oh, hello. Okay, let's see. I think I can do the thing where I cancel the spotlight. Holla. Okay. Y'all should be able to maybe see and or hear me. If you can, it's fine if you just hear me. Hello. I am so happy to see so many people drop. You see me? Okay, you see me. So many people dropping all the places that they donated to. I'm especially hyped about people saying things that aren't necessarily organizations. Someone said they donated to the hospital that saved their life. They donated to individuals, mutual aid groups, things like that. So it makes me really happy. I apologize. I'm burping a lot because I opened my beer. This is an invitation for all of you while Mykail breathes and takes some water in because this presentation stuff is hard business. This is an invitation to you to whip out that happy hour drink that I was talking about on my stories. Mine is a Hell or High Watermelon wheat beer. Delish. So sick. Keep dropping the names of other places that you've donated because it gives us life. But also focus on the fact that we are about to do a giveaway. This is giveaway number 1. So we're giving away, well, actually, Mykail is giving away the Financially Innovative Workbook. This is the workbook that Mykail herself put together to get your budgeting started, basically. And as you can see through her beautiful presentation, she knows her way around a design, around like an intuitive, useful educational design. So the workbook is beautiful. And for those of y'all who have had experience inside of a HellaHelpful giveaway, you know how this goes. What we need you to do, and I'm gonna give you like a minute to do it once I say go, I need you to post on IG stories and tag the bougie budgeter in your story. You're going to show up in Mykail's mentions, and the way that we're going to pick the winner of the giveaway is Mykail's going to refresh her mentions after about a minute and randomly choose somebody that mentioned her. You don't have to have a public profile to do this. Again, all you're doing is getting on your IG stories right now, making sure you follow the bougie budgeter. And let me make sure I type it out here. The bougie budgeter. Following Mykail and post something on your stories. I loved actually last time in the HellaHelpful Summit, folks were posting like, I was just like, it doesn't have to be pretty, just post and tag the person. They were just posting like, here's where I am watching the HellaHelpful Summit on the toilet next to my plants. Oh, that's a good question. What if we don't have an IG account? Might have to think of an alternative maybe for a different giveaway. At the moment, it's kind of IG centered, which I apologize for that. And everybody's decision to not be on Instagram, as a person who used to work at Instagram, I respect it hard. Instagram can be the devil. I get it. Okay. I'm going to give y'all a minute starting right now. You have a minute to get on IG and vote. For those of y'all who maybe are not going to participate in this round, can't participate in this round, stretch. Make sure you stretch your neck, drink some water, go pee. We've got 3 more giveaways. If you don't get picked for this giveaway, you don't have to enter again. Your mentions will still be in Mykail's IG. But the more you mention or like when you mention when we announce the giveaway, the more recent it goes. Exactly. The higher and the more recent your mention will be up in the thing. 22, 21 seconds. Jailene suggested SurveyMonkey could be another way to do a giveaway. True that. I actually would like to maybe look into how folks do a giveaway in the Zoom comments. We're thinking of doing something with the Zoom comments, but it just goes so fast and so wild.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
I've done giveaways like on my IG live comments, and it's easier that way, but it's like the first person to drop an emoji or something, but then it's like you got to be quick.
You gotta be fast. Not all of us have the texting. Tori, we might have missed you for this giveaway. What we were posting to IG and what we just ended now, so Mykail's going to pull up her mentions, is we're giving away this budgeting workbook. And in order to enter the giveaway, you post on your IG stories, tag the bougie budgeter, and make sure you're following the bougie budgeter. So, all right, is now going to pick the first winner.
So let's see. We are going to go with
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
Danny Ditching Debt. So
Danny Ditching Debt.
Danny,
sounds like
there we go.
Debt. Oh yes, Danny Ditching Debt. Are you in the chat? I'm sure you are somewhere. Maybe you're too busy doing a happy dance. There they are. Danielle Brown, is that you? Danny Ditching Debt. I have you on IG. I'm going to reach out to you. All the giveaway winners, I'll be reaching out to you after the giveaway to connect with you and get you your free budgeting workbook. Woohoo! Yes. Oh, also, can we have a moment, whether or not you have a drink, something in your hand? I would like to quickly cheers to everybody whose birthday it is. Yesterday, we got at least 2 birthdays here in the house. Yes. I want to say there was somebody. It was Alexis for sure. It's Alexis's birthday. It's Maria Jose's birthday on Saturday. Aishwarya, that's who
My
was.
birthday dance.
Yes, this is your birth. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Because you don't want to hear me actually sing the real birthday song. There is a birthday song that we sing in my apartment a lot that I actually, it's really just more kind of making fun of my Filipino uncles who sing like this. But they go, happy, happy, happy. That's it, just over and over. Happy, happy, happy. So from my Filipino family to yours, happy birthday to everybody whose birthday was before and after and today.
Yes.
Okay, cheers to you.
Mm-hmm.
Happy, happy. And we're going to pass it back over to Mykail to continue. I'm going to spotlight you and continue the presentation.
All right. So, number one, I love a working definition because we want to be on the same page. So, 4 things that you are going to hear me say most of the time in this presentation: donation. So that's something that you give to charity, especially a sum of money, and emphasis on the sum of money. A nonprofit organization is a business that has been granted tax-exempt status, so a 501c3, because it furthers a social cause and provides a public benefit. And I also saw people mentioning that they donate to their church, and that is absolutely a nonprofit organization that helps you as well, that helps the community. So churches are definitely a part of the donations, and your tithes and offerings are also tax deductible. Grassroots organization, this is a collective action from a local level. So I want to do more emphasis on these grassroots organizations. The huge ones like the ALCU and the NAACP, those are wonderful organizations, but I want to make sure that we're focusing on some of these smaller grassroots organizations because they are on the bottom floor. Okay, they are the ones that are really out there on the front lines, and those are the ones that kind of need your money the most. And then budget, my favorite thing, it's just it's a written financial plan, emphasis on the written, and it's used to control your money so that you can finance your best life. All right, so why should donating be a part of my budget? And you can throw this out, whatever your answer thinks, why should it be a part of your budget? My personal answer is that you spend your money on what you care about. So I would say, don't tell me what you care about. Show me your bank statements. Your bank statements will tell me what you care about because you are putting that energy, you're putting that money towards whatever your donations, your food, your water, whatever you decide, okay? So don't tell me what you care about. Show me your bank statements. So many grassroots nonprofit organizations are severely underfunded, blocked from grants, and depend on donations to survive. And that's why I want to have a heavy emphasis on grassroots organizations because, like I said, they're on the ground floor, and sometimes they are not having the opportunity to get all of those grants, to get the money that they need to actually move forward and push their social cause. Donating to organizations, again, is a long-term investment into your society, into society's future. So again, my example, I donate to Black Girls Vote because I want more Black girls to vote. I want voting equality. I want to get rid of voter suppression, gerrymandering, red district, redlining. All of those things are put into it. So think about how big companies purchase lobbyists. That's the same thing. They have lobbyists that go to Capitol Hill and push for whatever law they need to be changed. And that is what your dollars will help. You know, you have lobbyists, you have these organizations that are on the front lines trying to get laws changed, trying to get things passed. And they need money because they need more resources. They need help. And I want to focus on these grassroots organizations. What if I can't afford to donate large sums of money? If you are someone who feels like you need a lot of money to donate, drop a 2 in the chat. If you feel like $10, like just $10 is just not enough. Okay, Rachel, thank you for being honest, girl. That is like it sucks if you feel like you can't ball out and drop $10,000 to your favorite charity. I think it sucks that I don't have $10,000 to donate to my alma mater for the next person that's just like me to get a scholarship. And it sucks. Like, it's like, okay, well, if I don't have large sums of money, should I wait? Like, I want to just wait till I have a bunch of money to donate, because that'll make the impact. That'll really get them if I just drop like 2 stacks every month, if I can drop like $50,000. And that's not always the case, right? Small dollars still make an impact. Every dollar that you give to an organization on the front lines is an opportunity to help them. Just like saving for a big savings goal. Like, when you want to save for your house, you don't just drop $10,000 on a down payment. When you're saving for your house, you are saving $500 every check, $10 every check, whatever. You are doing the small things to make a big impact. And at the end of the year, you have that $10,000, you have that $20,000, or whatever your savings goal was. It's the same thing with donating. Most organizations, here's a key, most organizations are tracking the average number of donations and in addition to the total amount. So I think someone just said $10 400 times, right? So if you have 40 people donating $10, that is 4,000. That means that, that's 4,000. Like, what? Come on now. That's great. Like, that still makes an impact. Just because it's small dollars does not mean that it's not helpful. And again, when it's these smaller grassroots organizations, that $10 goes a longer way. One organization I also donated to was called Bold, and they actually train other activists who are organizing. They train activists, and they, on their page, it tells you what this money is going to. And a lot of the grassroots organizations are telling you that $50 to them was a bunch of money. $50 gave resources to help for the next workshops and things like that. So keep that in mind, that just because it's $10, just because you can do $5 means nothing. Small dollars still make an impact. And I'll show you how soon. So the last question: how do I work donations into my budget? This right here. How do I work my budget? How do I work donations into my budget is like this. That's why we're here, right? Like, that's what we're trying to figure out. And y'all see my $12 in my hand, because like, what the hell, $12? Come on. So something that I said on my Instagram, on my Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter, use your green dollars to support Black people, right? Even if you're not Black, if you are whatever color, whatever person you are, whatever ethnicity you are, using your green dollars to help whatever type of people, to help your people push forward, to help minorities who are blocked out of so many things. It is so necessary. It's so critical. So meet my friends. I have 2 friends, okay? BA and MJ. And all things considered, they make $59,000 a year, which is the national average, the median income. They both have donated to grassroots organizations this year. So that's dope, right? Okay, the only difference is BA, they decided to donate just one large lump sum. And I know, and they're both masked up, okay? Because we are practicing social distancing and we're trying to stop the spread of COVID-19, okay? Keep the masks on. But BA decided to donate one large lump sum, like we were just talking about. And then MJ has donated over $100, but in small doses. So we're gonna see what happens in the difference. But before that, okay, come on, Berna, we got another giveaway, and this time we get giving cash.
Da, 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 da. I'm back. Hello. I love it. Somebody said, yes, they're wearing masks, but they're not social distance. That's true. bad on BA and MJ's fault. There'll be social distance in a few slides from now. It's coming. Okay, so we have giveaway number 2. This is our first cash giveaway. Very exciting. I have been continuously sipping, so I hope that you all are too. As I talk about this giveaway, I would love for y'all to drop in the chat the most valuable thing that you've learned so far. I know some people have already been like, okay, I really needed to hear somebody like Mykail say that out loud. It's mind-blowing that someone actually said this. So what's the sort of your favorite sort of tweet-worthy thing that you've heard so far in this workshop? It's okay to give small amounts. $10 is a real donation. I love that one, Natasha. Don't tell me what you care about. Show me your bank statements. Like, if you haven't already, Mykail, turn that into like an Instagrammable little quote tweet.
Yeah.
Please, soon, so I can tattoo it on my forehead. I love that so much. Show me your bank statements. Okay.
I'll get a matching one too.
I would love that. I will repost the bejesus out of it. Excuse me. Oh my God, beer makes me burpy. So this giveaway, similar to the first time in that every one of these giveaways, in order to enter, we are going to ask you to follow the Bougie Budgeter. Post to your Instagram stories right now and tag the Bougie Budgeter in your Instagram stories so she can see you in her mentions. She is going to choose randomly from her mentions this next giveaway winner. This next giveaway winner is going to win $50 in cash. Well, socially distanced responsible cash if you have Venmo or PayPal, and a financially innovative workbook, which again is the brainchild of Mykail, the Bougie Budgeter. I also want to give this tiny commercial break to shout out one of our amazing sponsors. I want y'all to know all of our sponsors in HellaHelpful so far, community sponsors. These are people, individuals, not corporations, not brands, individual, self-brands, but not like big brands who are trying to sell you something. These are my friends that have come up out of the woodwork and said, I want to financially support this HellaHelpful workshop. So one of those friends is Sarah, Go Budget Girl. I don't know if any of you follow Go Budget Girl on Instagram or on YouTube. She's of gobudgetgirl.com. Sarah is a truly delightful YouTuber, and she has beautiful, pretty budgeting templates. And also on her Instagram, she's just like super, super real. Screenshots of her savings accounts, like literal pictures of her receipt in the car after she went to Walgreens. If you're a visual learner, Sarah from gobudgetgirl.com is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna put the timer on. I'm gonna give you guys, at this point, I'm gonna give you guys, since I've been talking for a while, I'm gonna give it 30 seconds. 30 seconds from now, get on IG, post to IG stories, tag at the Bougie Budgeter on your stories. Go, 30 seconds. How are you feeling, Mykail?
Yeah. I'm loving the comments. Yeah, and small amounts make it a habit. I like that. Did I say that?
It might be just the way that person processed it.
It's just like, every time I'm just like, wow, better and better every time, Yes,
exactly.
And if you follow me on if you follow me,
there goes 30 seconds.
Okay, someone said if I subscribe to the blog,
to your blog as a newsletter, newsletter person. I think for this workshop, we're gonna have to stick to the Instagram ones just because we haven't figured out like a fast mechanism to like go through new subscribers of your website. And so I hope I'm saying your name okay, but we're gonna have to ask you to hold on, come back for the next workshop, and you have given us the learning to figure out a giveaway that serves everybody, not just the people those of us who are obsessed with social media, like myself.
But honestly, before I pick someone, definitely in the links, if you go to the bougiebudgets.com/HellaHelpful, I do have the workbook on special price for $27 for the workshop. So don't worry if you cannot win. It is regular. It's $39, $40 because it's real helpful. Yes. It's hella helpful. But you are welcome to go ahead and grab a workbook. It's on my website. It's available. It's a download, so you don't even have to like wait for it to like be sent to you or anything. Just go ahead and grab it.
It's digital. Beautiful. Let's pick a winner. Okay. Let's keep it going.
Let's pick a winner.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm trying to be mindful of time. Y'all, if you have any more questions, please continue to drop them in the Q&A. Much appreciated. Kathleen said, I also love learning that DC is the fastest growing gentrified neighborhood in the US. All right.
Yes, it makes me sick. Okay, so we're going to go with the Little Mermel.
The Little Mermel.
Mermel.
I know you. Oh my gosh.
Melissa, the Little Mermel.
Yes. Oh my gosh. The Little Mermel. Melissa, are you here? Melissa said, no way. Yes. Yay, 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 yay. You won a free copy of Mykail's Financial Innovative Workbook and $50 cash. I'm going to connect with you after this, Mermel, and pass you all your winnings. Woohoo. Claps, claps, claps for our second giveaway winner.
And the giveaways are just getting bigger and bigger, y'all. So
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. We have a just 2 more bigger and bigger giveaways coming up. I'm going to pass it back to you, Mykail.
Okay.
Put the spotlight back on ya, and see you in a bit.
So in the spirit of social distance, now BA and MJ are on 2 different slides. So they are more than 6 feet apart, still social distance with the mask. So let's get into BA's story. So overall, in 2020, BA has donated $100. That is bomb. Shout out to you, BA. I'm so proud to call you my friend. And just to get into it, what they do, they sometimes use some budgeting apps really loosely, like a Mint, like not super, but a little loose. They are also they were motivated by the protests. Like who wasn't? The protests, the unrest, coupled with being stuck in the house, has really, really set things like to the max. So because they were so motivated by that, they decided, like, you know what? I want to go ahead and donate $100 to an organization that supports me. And again, proud to call you my friend BA, because that is so dope, right? And no, don't feel attacked. Listen, they want to do more. So BA decides, like, I want to do more, but they don't have $100 a month. Like, that's not sustainable for them, because $100 a month is still kind of a lot of money. So they decided that they want to wait until they can make larger donations consistently. But, you know, kind of still happy about that $100 donation, but, you know, still feeling like they want to, you know, do something more, right? Now, switch to MJ. Now, MJ, they have bought the Financially Innovative Workbook that is provided, you know, by me. And they are super excited because they started using the flexible budgeting method that I explained in the workbook in January 2020, right? And MJ's like, okay, I'm actually dedicated to donating more money to these organizations that support me. So they added a donations to their expense calculations, right? So MJ's like, all I have extra is like $30. 3 different organizations they give to, and that's how they decided to shake that cookie. But on top of that $10 for each organization, or $30 a month, they decided to get the company to match their monthly donations, right? So, wow. So now that $30 that MJ was originally donating, they got it to be kicked up to $60 by just asking their company or inquiring about the matching, right? So overall in 2020, MJ, with that $10 a month to 3 different organizations, or $30 a month, they have donated $360. How did that happen, right? Again, I told y'all, small dollars. Why you need to be like MJ. So this is a funky little graph that I created. So this yellow line at the bottom, this represents what BA did, right? January, February says 0, shoots up in June, $100, and then flat for the rest of the year. But then you look at MJ. So this pink line first is MJ. for just her donation, just their donation is $10 a month. $10 straight across. I mean, $30 a month straight across, right? Straight across. Over time, if we're looking at over time, that investment in their donation goes up and it hits at in the June time, right? That's where we at. But just by getting that company donation, this is what the white line represents. The donation, the matching from their company doubled their donation. And so by the end of 2020, MJ would have donated almost $750 to to their organizations. And I'm seeing people saying, I never thought of that. Looking at the matching, yes, you see how the matching works. And someone even mentioned, Berna mentioned, if your friend is at a company that matches, most companies, most large companies will do a matching, and we'll get into how you figure that out. But if you do the matching and say, you know, I work somewhere, your company doesn't match, but mine does. If you want to pool together money to make that donation even bigger, you can do that, especially if your donations aren't substantial enough to get a tax write-off, because that is something that people don't really talk about. If your donations aren't substantial, then sometimes it's not really going to create that tax write-off that you're looking for if you're just doing the standard deduction. But we're not into the tax talk, but that is just something to keep in mind. So while everyone's ideas are like, psh, I know that was crazy, and just to see this visual representation of what it looks like, Berna, I'm gonna bring you back in one more time.
Oh yeah.
Boom. And this time it's $100.
It's $100. If you had put the camera live on me 2 seconds ago, I was taking a picture of the chat like this. I'm like in front of my screen like this. I love when people are saying in our in the chat in HellaHelpful summits, being like, I had no idea. My head is exploding. So smart. I'm like, that. Yes, that is why we're here, to serve information. But I love to see the little bits of things where someone's like, stop. If I walk away from this webinar right now, I've already learned something new. I'm like, yes, yes. That said, don't you walk away from this webinar just yet, because we're about to give away $100 in cash, plus a financially innovative workbook, again, made by the beautiful Mykail James. So starting now, get on your phones right now. Again, the way to enter the giveaway, get on Instagram, post something to your IG story, tag at the bougie budgeter. Let me type it again. At the bougie budgeter. I'm seeing my IG. Y'all, you don't have to tag me. Don't need to tag me. It's Mykail who is keeping an eye on all this stuff. You'll show up in her mentions, and in just let's give it another
And
minute.
make sure y'all follow me too, because I'm not giving money away to somebody who don't even want to follow me. Okay?
Thank you. We didn't come here just for the free money. Maybe some of us did, but you leave with the lessons, right? And for this to really be worth your time, if you continue to follow folks like Mykail, there it is. It's going to pay off within the first 2 seconds of you following her. Obviously, for me, my time here is already paid off. You have 40 seconds to post to your IG story, follow Mykail at the Bougie Budgeter, tag Mykail in your stories. $100 cash. And while we are all doing that, I have another amazing sponsor to tell y'all about. Again, these are all community sponsors, AKA it's the HellaHelpful community giving money to each other. This is not brands coming down and giving us money. It's people, friends, other personal finance creators being like, I'd like to give away money because I love this. This one is coming to us from Polly Barks. I don't know if Polly Barks is up in here, because I know that Polly had an interview tonight, but Polly Barks is a zero waste and sustainability activist. Ooh. While I talk, y'all have time to post your stories. Polly Barks wrote a book on sustainability and zero waste. And I love how she describes it. It's dedicated to everyone who's sick of quote unquote raising awareness and wants to take actual action, which is amazing. You could find her book on pollybarks.com. Her book is called More Than a Plastic Bag, which I need to learn from because my life is not extremely green. I'm gonna be real. Okay, now, Mykail, are you ready to choose a winner of this $100 plus financially innovative financially innovative workbook. I'm going.
Ooh, okay, sorry.
Found it.
Let's see. Let's see. This is Love Tory Beauty.
Love Tory Beauty. Love Tory
Yes.
Beauty. Are you in the house to receive your $100? Love Tory Beauty. Is that you, Aishwarya? Yes, no? Oh no, maybe Aishwarya is talking about the amazing resource that Edna just dropped in, which we'll talk more about. Nope. Love Tory Beauty. Love Tory Beauty. Tori, are you here? Are you around? Come claim your prize. Yes, no, yes, no. Well, Love Tory Beauty, I will holler at you when you win that $100. Win the $100, I will holler at you, and you'll get your cash and your financially innovative workbook. I want to shout out Edna in the chat real quick, who just dropped a whole ass, I'm sorry, we swear a lot of HellaHelpful, a whole ass Google donations spreadsheet here for folks who are interested in finding people who match donations, which is amazing. I don't know if y'all are hearing, or I mean, this is big in the Bay Area because, you know, all of us have somebody, a friend, a family member who works in tech. Some of these tech companies are matching up to 2-3 times people's donations. Like some of these tech companies are opening up their checkbook. Obviously, they're not being very loud about it, just to their employees. So if you know somebody who maybe this is something you could find on the donation spreadsheet, someone whose company is matching 2 to 3 times donations, this is literally like, it's just like a magic wand where your money gets times 2 to 3 times just because you know somebody, which is crazy. So you could Venmo that person, give your money to that person, hopefully it's somebody you trust. And then, I mean, I just love the idea of taking from the rich and giving to the needy. Like, I love the idea of basically scamming more money, scamming donation money out of the Apples and the Googles and the Netflix of the world, which are companies that I've heard have like 2 to 3x matching donations. So this is where community care and technology really like gets crazy. I said Google doubles my donations. What?
Yeah, my company also, we mentioned I work in defense, so honestly, they should be giving donations. So I work in defense, and my company matches up to, I think, $2,500 a year
per person.
Per person. But the only caveat, which we're gonna get into, is the small caveat is that it has to be on an approved list, which most of them will do. They'll say it has to be on an approved list, it has to, you know, do, or so I use that to match my donations to my alma mater because they do to financial, and just because we're heavy into the government contracting and stuff like that, so just have to be mindful for that. But you know, if you're not in the industry with that much red tape, it's different.
Yeah, even in an industry with red tape, it's pretty amazing that they're like, I mean, the fact that like they have already budgeted, and this is almost like where we can learn from a company like that gives you, what is it, $2,300 per employee? $2,500 per employee. That means that your company already budgeted for the year, set aside $2,500 per employee. That means that at the end of the year, some employees who just like either can't donate or haven't donated or aren't thinking about matching donations, that money is just sitting somewhere that could be going to what, like you said, Mykail, a grassroots organization. These companies have so much money that they can let it sit. You can blow it or not. It makes me so crazy to think about, like not maxing out those kinds of donations, or like getting your friends to give you match donation money so that you can like bleed your company dry is what I'm saying. Bleed them. Okay. I'm going to go. We're going to get back to the presentation. I know we're already at 5 o'clock and I want to like bring it around town so we can do Q&A. So I appreciate everyone who stuck around. I'm going to pass it back to you, Mykail.
Yeah. And we're about to wrap up. We're like almost finished. I promise y'all. So how to be more like MJ. Number 1, research organizations that support causes that you care about. That's number 1. Okay. So it doesn't have to be, not that you don't need to give to a huge organization like an NAACP, but they already have these big corporate sponsors backing them. They already have that exposure in those dedicated dollars. The small organizations, the ones that are, again, these grassroots organizations are the ones that need the funding. So you have to get your hands dirty and do the research, because it's not going to pop right out at you. Add your donations as a monthly bill in your calculations for your expenses. That is how you get it done. And then enroll in your company's donation matching program. So number one, research. Think about the problems in your community. What change would you like to see in the community or in the world? Think about those causes first, and they will lead you to the organizations that you should be putting your money towards, right? Because we're done with that blindly just throwing money at an organization because an influencer with 2 million followers posted a link. No, we're over that, okay? Done. All right. So number two, adding donations as a monthly bill. So this is actually a screenshot directly from the workbook. So shout out to whoever has won a workbook and whoever has bought one. This is literally a screenshot, and you can see that yellow right there is the donations. Donations, $50 a month, $25 every other week, right? Is in it for donations. And that's what you should be looking at. That's step 2 in the flexible budgeting. If you have the workbook, then you will be able to see that. But like I said, it's directly from the workbook. So if it's important, make it a priority. Again, I said it in the beginning. Don't tell me what's important to you. Show me your bank receipts. Okay, let me see that. Factor in your set donations and treat it as a monthly bill. That's how it gets paid. That's how, when you keep it top of mind, when it's in the budget, it gets done. And most organizations, again, they'll honestly have a way for you to automatically donate every month and have it on auto pay. I'm a huge fan of auto pay, setting your money on auto pay, setting your bills on auto pay. You do not need to be rich to have your money on auto pay. You need to be organized. Those are two different things, okay? You need to be organized to have your money on auto pay, not rich. All right, the last step is to enroll in your company's donation matching program. Most corporations have some type of donation match program, right? Review your employee benefits, because it's a part of your employee benefits package, or contact your HR person to find out more info. Everyone does it differently, but listen, you are going to have to take extra steps, okay? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be like, oh, I just press one button and all of my money that I want to donate is going to be matched. They make it hard. So you have to say, you know what? I'm going to take these extra steps because I know that this is going to help the world. This is going to invest into the world that I want to see. And that's just that on that. So you're going to have to take the steps. It's going to be an extra step. I promise you it will be. And the last thing, supporting on a tiny budget. And all my twos from earlier who said, you were like, I feel like I need more money. Like, I can't donate with $5. $10 doesn't seem like enough to donate. Donate your time, right? If you have any connections, if you are working for one of these corporations, my Googles, you need to be reaching out to people who create these community events and put these organizations on, connect them. The connection, the time that you do to connect a small grassroots organization to a company like a Google, like a PayPal, like a whatever, that a Fortune 500 company, that is going to make a difference in the long run, because connections make a difference. Okay, get your friends together and pledge a joint donation. We talked about that earlier. And also spread awareness. Tell people that you are donating. Tell people where you're donating. Tell people why you're donating to a specific organization, what they do. Let people know. You have to be an advocate for your organizations, for the things that you care about. Be an advocate, be an ally. You don't have to be getting paid or be on the inside of it. Just let people know, like, hey, I donate to Black Girls Vote, and I love it. This is their mission. They help stop voter suppression. They help people get registered to vote. because Black people voting is important, because we have been shut out of too many elections over the past 400 years because of illiteracy, because of not owning property, because people would be murdered for trying to vote. And that is something that's important to me. So amplify your organization's message. And then that we're gonna wrap it up. Again, if you want to grab this presentation and get all of the extra goods. So I have a friend who, like I said, works at the Casey Foundation, and she actually put together a philanthropy one-on-one resource that is on the HellaHelpful page, bougiebudgets.com/HellaHelpful. And then once Berna uploads the video, that link will also be added. So it's got a bunch of stuff to join if you want to join the Young, Rich, and Responsible group, because that is my community that I have created. You are welcome to join that. And if you want to get on the 1st and 15th newsletter, like I talked about earlier when I said I've been talking about donating since back in April, May, you are welcome to also join the newsletter. All of that information is at bougiebudgets.com/HellaHelpful. And we are going to wrap it up with the last giveaway, $150. Hey, Berna, come on back.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. There's so much that I want to highlight before we get to the $150 cash giveaway plus financially innovative workbook. I am seeing so many amazing things happen in this HellaHelpful Zoom chat, just like it always does. And I'm just like, I'm flashing back to March when we had our crazy summit. How in the comments, in the Zoom chat, you all are making your own connections. Your minds are blown, but also you're helping each other. I'm seeing teachers connect. I'm seeing teachers talking to other teachers about how teachers can donate. I'm seeing folks telling other folks who have matching donation programs in their company how to maximize them for the smaller organizations. I saw, again, shout out again to Edna, who dropped that amazing spreadsheet about folks who are matching donations. It's almost like, now that we're talking more and more about matching donations, I'm like, I almost want like maybe half, like every other donation I make at least, to be part of a matching program, because you're just grabbing free money. It's like, for those of you, when we've talked about investing with a 401k and having a matching program, like if your company matches your contributions to your 401k, that's why lots of financial advisors are like, the first place you should be investing is asking your company to maximize your matching contributions to your 401k. Why? Because free money, because the money is already there. So now I'm like, matching donations is the wave. Like, we should be talking about that all the time. My mind is blown. I also really want, Teresa said, take all the old white money. Exactly. It's all about just milking where it's already coming from. You know, like it could feel good to come from your own pockets, but when you get to like multiply what's coming out of your pockets from the pockets of people whose pockets need to be milked, that makes me, that like grows hair on my head. I also really want to point out what everyone's talking about in the chat as well, which is the idea of like donating with other people. I think I hear we have Becca talking about at their work, a bunch of people donated to part of their CARES check back to our org's immigrant relief fund. People did it together, teachers coming together. I think it was Stephanie or Cassandra. Cassandra said, it feel like the teachers come together to donate together. They pool their money from their family and friends. I strongly believe personally that like, you shouldn't donate in a silo. You shouldn't donate by yourself, because I think that, and Mykail and I were talking about this before, when you donate in a silo, just like quietly to yourself, it makes it that much easier for that to drop off your budget, because it's you giving, which is amazing. But I just feel like in terms of like community care, everything is so much like more amplified and feels so much more tangible when you're doing it with another person. Anyway, that's my spiel. Let's give away $150. Once again, the way to enter this, and this is the last giveaway of the night, post to your IG story and tag at the Bougie Budgeter, $150 in cash and a financially innovative workbook. I'm going to put a minute on the timer right now. Minute on the timer for you to do that. While you're doing that, I want to talk about my friend Amanda, who I think is up in this chat and might be up in this workshop. Amanda at dumpster doggy, dumpster.doggy, is one of our amazing, again, community sponsors, AKA she just like snuck up in my DMs and was like, let me throw money at your community because I think this is amazing. Amanda Dumpster Doggy, sometimes I see some finance creators and they're like, I make learning about investing fun. And I'm like, stop. Have you met Dumpster Doggy, who just popped up in the chat? Yes, thank you, Amanda Dumpster Doggy. She really and truly cares about breaking down investing in memes, sex analogies, pop culture analogies, relevant ways. She like speaks millennial internet. And she's not only brilliant, but she is hilarious. She runs this amazing video investing course called Invested Development. And she has given away over 100 scholarship spots towards her, 100 scholarship spots for her paid investing course, which is amazing. And she's going to keep doing more in the near future. She's reserved, I think, 100 spots for Black women and non-binary people in the past month. Follow Dumpster Doggy. Amanda is the truth. I love you. I love you, Amanda. Okay. Mykail, are you ready to choose your Amanda Holden Dumpster Doggy sponsored $150 giveaway winner plus financial innovative workbook? Mykail. Yeah, no, yeah, we're working.
Okay.
We're working on it.
I'm like
She's
looking
in there.
through. Okay.
Yes.
So we are going with young jet lag.
Young jet lag. I know young jet lag.
Young jet lag.
Daphne? Is it Daphne?
Daphne, yes.
Daphne's the jet set. Yes. Oh my gosh. Young jet lag. Amazing. Daphne, young jet lag. I'm going to reach out to you after this. You are the winner of our $150 cash giveaway plus a financially innovative workbook, which I'm going to get in touch with you. I'm so excited for you, Daphne. I'm so excited for all of the giveaway winners tonight. And thank you to all of our sponsors as well. One of whom wants to call me out real quick, Amanda, and tell y'all that I was being a coward for not talking about the fact that Amanda and I shared a bed for 5 nights because she's a homie of mine and we were roommates during FinCon last year. A crazy 5 nights, I must say, in which somebody in our room, I won't say who, may or may not have dressed up in a vagina costume. I'm going to have you guess maybe who did that and what and why. I will just tell you it was a good time. The best part of my experience at FinCon, of which I will have no longer any experiences at FinCon. Whole other webinar. All right. So now it is time for Q&A. Congrats to everybody. Yes. And thank you to everybody. We have a few questions already for Mykail, which I will queue up and tell you about. So our first question, let's see, answer live. We are going to do, let's do this question from an anonymous. Can you see the questions, Mykail?
Let me see. I'm going to stop sharing so I can give my full attention.
Yes.
And Q&A, let's see. Okay, I can see. See.
Awesome. Let's see. So we have this question from an anonymous attendee. I don't know if you can see it. I just made it like answering live. So anonymous attendee asked, does your company match the donation and tax you for it in your pay? So do you get taxed for the donations, for any match donations that you give through a company? Do you know that? Or if anybody in the chat knows that?
I don't think so. I'm not sure, because again, that's something that's already built into your not 401k packet, your employees benefits packet. But what I will say is that I am not an HR professional, and I know that different companies operate different ways. So that's what I can say about that. My company, no, it's they give directly to it'll be to my school. So another thing that I didn't mention that I want to talk about when it comes to matching and when it comes to donations. So they're looking at how many donations are being given, because nonprofit organizations go through rigorous certifications and things like that. So they're looking not only at how much money they're getting, but how many people are giving it. So $4,000 from one person versus $4,000 from 10 people giving $100 is completely different, because now that's giving them more access to get these donations or get grants, get all of that stuff, because they're seeing that there are more people invested into it, more people are donating to their cause.
Yeah.
So that is something that you want to keep mindful. So that's why I like the company match, because it's like, here's my dollars and the company is donating it. So now that not only is the donation doubled, but it is also like 2 people are donating versus just 1.
Yes, that is so impactful. That was so impactful for me to learn through you, Mykail, that like, this is a huge argument towards the smaller donations over a longer period of time versus the like panic, oh my gosh, somebody's name is trending, I need to like bleed out $100 all at once.
Right.
When nonprofits, and I learned this through you, through your friend who works at the
Casey Foundation.
Thank you, the Casey Foundation, that when especially these smaller grassroots nonprofits, when they're applying for grants, and a lot of these, I mean, folks who work for nonprofits in the chat, please like holler if you work for a nonprofit, you know exactly what this is about. A lot of these smaller nonprofits they live off of grants, big contracts, and they have to apply to each and every one of them. Sometimes like every year, several times a year, they're applying for grant money. And when they're applying for grant money, it looks better for a nonprofit to have many consistent donations than like big chunks of donations at a time. So literally when we decide to make smaller, consistent donations and work that into our budget, not only are we giving support, like walking the talk every single month, but we're making that nonprofit look better. We position them better. We give them a better grade essentially, so they can get bigger money, bigger grants, bigger contracts. I was like, I didn't realize that these nonprofits are sort of being graded by how many donations they get and how often, not how like big of the donations are. Right. So if my like $5 per month can help a nonprofit look like, oh, people not only care about this organization once, but like 12 times a year, and that helps them get more grant money, like it's a beautiful thing. It is such a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
All right. Shall we boogie on to another question?
Yeah.
Let's see. We have a really good question here from Melissa. It's a little bit of a longer one, but I'll read it out. So Melissa Topacio Long said, are there better ways of supporting Black people than others? I have a study abroad business and have offered past programs at reduced tuition in order to bring more Black students to Morocco. The question is, would raising money for a program for Black students supported by Black program leaders to travel abroad be a good way to challenge systems of oppression? Or should I be directing my resources and support towards already existing orgs or programs already supporting Black students? So should they basically raise money to create a program supporting Black students that doesn't exist, or should they support ones that already exist?
Listen, honestly, I think that every bit helps. And if your program is supporting and doing the work that you're set out to do, I say go for it. I think that it's amazing. And what we need is more variety, you know, like sometimes, especially when it comes to traveling abroad, that is something that I'm so grateful that I was able to do when I was in my sophomore year of college. I went to China, and that was such a dope experience. And we learned what it was like to be Black in China, which, you know, a lot of them had never seen Black people before. And the hair touching was crazy. Okay. I'm gonna let you know it was crazy.
The picture taking?
The picture taking, you know, I was Beyonce. No one could tell me that I was not Beyonce. Oh and I think that what your work is doing is beneficial, even if you don't feel the impact. Again, impact takes much longer. So that program specifically to, you know, get Black students to travel to Morocco, that is going to impact some students in a big way. And you could still do both, but if you want to, you know, you can always be slick and get people to donate to you so you can give to your program, but also still help and donate to other programs. But again, it's not always just about your money. It's about the awareness. It's about connecting. So maybe, you know, you partner with some of these other programs that are struggling to get some funding or struggling to get better deals on flights or whatever. And that is an impact all on its own, and you did not spend $1. You just, took some time to help.
Yep.
And that's what it's really about to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Not everybody has to give dollars. And what I would say and add to that, Mykail, is not everybody has to start something in order to give.
Mm-hmm.
I think in these moments of like giant racial uprising and kind of like big social movements, a lot of people feel moved to like, I have to start my own movement. I have to start my own Instagram. I have to start my own nonprofit. I have to start my own
Mm-hmm.
fund. And I'm sure if y'all have seen this in the past few weeks, you can tell me in the chat. There are many, many activists, for example, like defunding the police and abolition activists that are kind of like, I'm so glad you're here now, but we've been here for decades and we've been doing the work for decades and we've been in the industry. We know what works. We know what doesn't work. So I'm so glad you're all here. You're new to it. But, I've seen a lot of activists kind of warn against like, if you're new to the fight, don't try to lead something. There are so many people who have already been here. And if you only have money to give as opposed to time, give that money to the people who have already been doing the work for many decades. Like Alex said, don't erase the work already done, especially when these people are like, these activists have been in the circles where they've already considered a lot of the solutions that many of us who are new are like, why don't we just do this? You have activists in the back being like, are you kidding? We tried that 10 years ago. We've already done this. Like we have the blueprint. We just need your words. We need your hands. We need your money. And so I think, Melissa, if the idea of raising money for a new program, it feels kind of more lift and more out of like, oh gosh, like this is a big problem. I need for there to be a big solution coming from me. I would almost lean towards the like, if there are people who are already doing it, and that's up to you, that's your discretion if you think they're doing it right, then I would give them their support, because it's more often than not, there's already somebody out there who's trying to fix the problem the way that you want to.
Absolutely.
And good Lord, they could really use your money or your support or your amplification, your yelling about it, your anything like that. So yeah, we've got some folks in the comments who are saying, Tiara is saying, unless your org is doing something that is filling a need that isn't adequately being addressed, just find the org that already addresses what you're passionate about and put your energy there.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, definitely. And there's so many orgs that exist. And there's so much to say also about like local orgs that exist. Like I'm very new, for example, to the conversation about like defunding local police and like abolition. I will admit that I'm new to that conversation. I had no idea that here where I live in South San Francisco, there's already an org, by the way, led by like 18 to 23-year-olds, that they have their list of demands already ready. They already are in conversations with the police chief. They've already gone to city council meetings. They have the numbers and cell phone numbers of like all the city council members. And I'm like, let me just get out of the way then. Like you already are doing the thing and all you need is my body, my support, my breath. So if that's what you're willing to give, then it's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. More questions. Let's see. Ihobi, I feel like they told me a different way to say their name and I'm not getting it right. So IHOBY, I know they already left, but they asked, what has been the impact of yesterday's blackout day where Black folks spend their money in Black-owned businesses? Now, I saw this question and I did a little bit of research while the presentation was going on. I don't think there's any updated stats yet about like exactly how it went, but Mykail, do you know about the blackout day and like the background of it? If you want to talk about it.
So this is where the background of the blackout day comes from, the trillion spending power of the Black dollar, and
trillion.
some even further ideas is that we need to start supporting Black businesses, and what does that look like? Our consumer dollars going towards Black businesses. Again, this is some work that I've already been doing.
I know.
I think I like linked back to a article I wrote last year around this time talking about the Black dollar. They even talk about how long the Black dollar lasts in the Black community. So I think the Asians, it takes about 30 days for it to leave out of the Asian community, and it's lower and lower and lower. Then you hit the Black community and allegedly stays in circulation for about 30 seconds is what is the statistic. Stats can go either way. but what is supposed to invoke is to get people more interested, to get people to spend those consumer dollars to Black owned organizations, Black led organizations, and see what happens when Black people stop investing in companies that hate us. Which I definitely think that a lot happens. One of my goals for the last 2 years was to move all of my skincare, like all of my cosmetic and like body wash and all of those kind of things. Toiletries, that's the word I'm looking for. Moving all of my toiletries.
Such an ugly word for a beautiful thing. Good Lord.
To Black owned organizations. And if you find some cost effective body wash,
yes,
it does not make my skin feel funny,
yes,
I'm open to that. But yeah, so I moved everything over there, and you know, little things like that. Again, like I said, this is work that I've been passionate about, I've been doing, and I'm never going to be one of those people like, well, where were you guys 2 years ago? I'm glad you're here now, and I'm glad that, and I even did a thread on Twitter and to talk about economies of scale and what that actually means, why Black owned ends up a little bit more expensive. And it's spoiler alert, it's because we don't own the value chain. And why, say, an Asian companies are can last longer, because not only do they own the storefront, they own the suppliers, they own the creators, they own the entire value chain, which means they can get discounts, which means they can sell it for cheaper, which means that they will get more customers. And all of this all plays into a thing. If we don't have any Black manufacturers, no Black packaging, no Black, like, we can't keep it all in, because we will have to go out. Yep. Black and green is a great marketplace. It is a great marketplace.
Amazing. And it looks like there's a like subset for natural of just like beauty, oh maybe not, but beauty stuff. I'm actually just writing down for my own notes of just like things that people are looking for, that like maybe you or I might get, like definitely go looking for resources to share on our IGs or in the HellaHelpful community, things like that, where if we don't have the answers, we're going to go look for them and get them together. There you go. Damn typo. Yes, it makes total sense. RGC said, goes back to your bank account reflecting what you care about. I only buy makeup from BIPOC owned companies.
Yeah,
I really love, right. And like, it's this new, like kind of wave of consciousness for a lot of consumers of like even considering who you're giving your money to for the little things, for toilet paper. Like, I know when like COVID first hit, people were like, go to your local bodega to buy toilet paper. I know that it's more expensive, might be more annoying, but like, these are literally usually run by BIPOC families, Black, Indigenous, people of color families, who are really suffering. And Costco's not, Safeway's not, like Big Four's not. They're not suffering. So give your money to the people who might be suffering for these everyday things. And even think about that. Can I tell a random story? Maybe after my random story, we can maybe do one more question. How do you feel, Mykail?
And then wrap it up after that.
Okay. My random story is that a friend was like, hey, do you guys know Kipling backpacks? Kipling, Kipling. If you know what I'm talking about, Kipling backpacks, they're like kind of windbreakery and soft. They're like very popular in Asian families. Natasha knows what I'm talking about, Kipling. My friend was like, oh my gosh, there's a sale on Kipling backpacks. There's this coupon. And I was like, sick, I've been looking for a back. Yes, Natasha, the one with the gorilla keychains. Exactly. And I was like, oh, amazing. I really want to, like, I'm going to go look at it. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to buy this one or this one. And then I was like, I wonder why they named the company Kipling. Let me just get my Googles on. And so I Googled, why did they name the company Kipling? And also, what are the monkeys about? Because I was like, monkeys. This better not have any kind of racial undertones. So I was like, let me Google.
Looking at you, Prada.
Thank you. Looking at you, H&M with the making the like young Black kid wear the monkey shirt. Hate it. So H&M, I think it was H&M. But anyway, I looked it up. Kipling, which is a bag company named after Rudyard Kipling, who is a British poet. And according to Kipling, they're like, oh, we named this company after Rudyard Kipling to encompass, and we use the gorilla to encompass his feeling of adventurousness. Apparently he's this explorer, which like we all know what it means when an old white guy's an explorer. Okay. He's an explorer, he's adventurousness. So we wanted to like capture his feeling of adventurousness. And I was like, Rudyard Kipling. Yeah, LOL, Kathleen. I was like, sounds kind of familiar. I Googled Rudyard Kipling. Yes, Aishwarya, he is the one who wrote the Jungle Book. And he's the one who wrote this poem called The White Man's Burden. I don't know if all you ever heard the poem called The White Man's Burden, but by the look on your face, I think you could tell, everyone in the comment, yes. He wrote The White Man's Burden, which is a poem that essentially tells white people, listen, it is our birthright, it is our burden, it's our duty in life as white men to civilize people from basically countries that were trying to colonize. Specifically, he was talking about the US trying to annex the Philippines. And so he was saying, guys, it's our duty to colonize the Philippines. It is, as white people, it is our burden. I'm sorry, Kathleen, you weren't ready for this. It is our burden to take the people of the Philippines and bring them to civilization. And so alongside his poem, The White Man's Burden, there are all these illustrations of literally white old Uncle Sam carrying on his back dark-skinned, black, brown-skinned people, savage-looking people, up to this mountaintop that said civilization, aka Christianity / Catholicism. I'm so sorry, y'all. I really had to. So imperialism. And so I was like, I can't buy a backpack anymore without being confronted with the realities of white supremacy. That is a long-ass way to say that, like, it really matters where your dollars go. And I'm sure Kipling's like, fine, don't give me $35 for a backpack. I don't care. Okay. So yeah, exactly. So, but then that's what put me down the path of like, okay, my money matters. I should be buying from, especially now, like a Black owned business. But when I don't buy consciously, I am unconsciously giving to white supremacy. I'm unconsciously giving to brands that idolize white supremacy and call white supremacists and imperialists adventurers. Look at that. Anyway, that was a long ass story. And I hope that illuminates for you all a little bit of what Mykail was saying today. We'll do one more quick question. How do you feel, Mykail?
Yeah, I like this one from Carrie Ann.
Okay, Carrie Ann Baylor.
What is considered a substantial amount for donations on your taxes? Now, I'm not a tax professional, but I do know a little something.
Yes.
So what happens, and I'm going to try to consolidate this as quickly as possible. So when you are filling out your taxes, you put your earnings and all of these things on. Now, one or two things are going to happen. Either you're going to take the standard deduction that depending on what your tax bracket is, what your standard deduction is, or you have to go and do like different schedules and add in extra like whatever taxes. So there are few deductions that are taken off before your standard deduction, and that's like, I think honestly only the student loan interest gets taken off, and maybe something else. Again, not a formal tax professional, working on a CPA, yeah, working on that. Catch me in 2021, late 2020, maybe 2022, whatever. It's gonna happen.
Working on it.
But so then if you say you make too much money, this is small tidbit why so many very rich people donate such large amounts, because that helps cut down on their tax burden, because they make too much money to get the standard deduction. So then they have to figure out different ways to get other deductions.
Wow.
And your donations, your annual donations go under that. So it depends on if you are able to take if you make too much money to take the standard deduction.
Wow. Imagine.
That is a long story short. Yeah, taxes. Listen, I try to get more into taxes, but it's a convoluted thing, and
so
schedules and deductions and things like that. But like I said, my background is accounting, so I've taken a tax class or two. So
To be known. But as we said in the top of this, of course, if you're seeking professional advice, definitely go seek professional advice.
Yeah.
And we are teachers, we are educators, not the professionals. But I hope that helped to answer your question, Carrie Ann. And I want to wrap this up now because I've officially taken up an hour and a half of your time, Mykail's time, everybody else's time. Thank you so much, Mykail. So very last things before I have you share exactly how people can continue to support you. I want to remind everybody that Mykail, again, like I said, bow on every step of your experience with Mykail. Mykail put together a page for us on her website, bougiebudgets.com/HellaHelpful, right? I'm going to type it in here.
Yeah.
Oh, you're typing it in there?
Well, I want to actually show you guys what it looks like.
Okay, cool. As I type it in, www.bougiebudgets.com/HellaHelpful. That is where we will find tons of resources. It's where you can buy her financially innovative workbook for a HellaHelpful discount. That's where the playback will be. That's where the slides will be. Look at this. It's beautiful.
So this is what you got. So all the buttons. If you click right here on the picture, there is a full recap. Well, actually not a full recap. It's just 2 pages, but a recap for that. And then you got the philanthropy 101. That is the presentation that my friend sent from the Casey Foundation. Here you can buy your workbook. You can join my community, get on the newsletter, and also look at the slideshow right here. And then when Berna sends over the list for, when she sends over the link for the recap, then that will also be put in there too.
I mean, my God, like you've upped the bar for all of us forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's what bougie people do. Okay.
That is what I'm so proud to know you. It stresses me out. I must shout out that Mykail was the one who created all the graphics for the original HellaHelpful Summit, like all of the promo images for every single one. And then like the beautifully moving Canva IG stories. That was all Mykail. So, I mean, just a weapon. Like Mykail, I'm so sorry. Mykail is an actual weapon of a human being. And so
thank you.
Yes, it is bougiebudgets.com/HellaHelpful. And then quick plug also for myself. Like I said, the recording is going to be available on my YouTube for free for a week. And then it's only going to be available forevermore to the HellaHelpful membership. And so this is something that I secretly kicked off with a very small group of folks, some of whom are here. Hi. And it's very small and I'm beta testing. There are a few spots left. If you're interested in those spots, jump to HellaHelpful.com and scroll all the way to the bottom. You can sign up for the wait list there. But that's the other way that you'll be able to access the recording of this past next week and forever and ever. Amen. 24/7. Okay. Mykail, tell us how we can support you. How can we love on you forever now that we're all convinced that like we want to be adopted by you? What do we do?
Well, I am a rich auntie with no children. So rich auntie, no kids. So I'm not taking adoptions, but just follow me on Instagram. Make sure you guys, mention my things. I try to. Tomorrow we are drinking wine, again from a Black-owned company. They just launched. So we're drinking wine and we're talking about how I was scammed out of $400, y'all. It's really kind of crazy. So if you want to know the story, because listen, I told Berna earlier, and she was also very surprised at how advanced. But I also have a friend who is a cybersecurity expert to tell me where I went wrong and to help you protect your money. So that's what's popping off tomorrow, and it's on IG Live, so you don't have to no codes, no anything added extra with that. It's all free. And come party with me because I like to do fun things and I cuss a lot too. I just didn't cuss tonight.
But we welcome it. We welcome the cussing and the drinking.
You.
All right. I'm going to wrap this up so we can give everyone, please send a thank you, an emoji, SK, whatever you got in the chat for Mykail so she can see all of your love and praise because you really, 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 really freaking broke it down for us tonight.
Thank you.
And then last thing I'll say also is the very next workshop, HellaHelpful workshop. So we're going to be doing this once a month. at the very least. Next workshop is going to be from the perspective of a nonprofit, telling you specifically what it's like, what donations are like on the inside of a nonprofit, and how to figure out what nonprofit to give. You know, there's GoFundMe's, there's the smaller thing, grassroots, like what, how do I trust it? Where do I see the receipts? We're going to be talking directly with a nonprofit for that next month. So stay updated. Thank you so much, Mykail. You were
Thank you
freaking
for inviting
amazing.
me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Alrighty.
you. And thank you to
Bye.
everybody who is here. I will see you soon. Bye, everybody. See you later.